All right, let's take a look at the solo here in Black Dog. This is going to start with a little phrase like this. Pretty simple. It's just going to be the low E string, open, hammered onto the 2nd fret. Then come over to the A string, hit it open, slide from 2nd fret to the 3rd fret. Really quick. Back to the open A string, and then 2-0 on the low E. Okay, now he goes into what is pretty much the main lick in the solo. He does it kind of repetitively, not only at the beginning, but throughout the solo. It's going to go kind of like this. All right, so let's take a look at that. That little kind of ascending phrase is going to happen a lot in this solo. We're going to start with a quick slide from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret. You don't really hear the 2nd fret, it's more of a grace note. So slide into the 4th fret on the 5th string, the A string. Then on the D string, play 2 and 4. Then come over to the G string and play the 2nd fret. Back down to the 4 on the D string. Back to the 2 on the G string. Then you're going to take, still remaining on the G string, you're going to slide from 4 up to 6. Kind of a grace note as well, you don't really hear the 4. And then grab the 5 on the high E with your 2nd finger here. And then come and hit the open A string. Okay? So after doing that phrase, in the beginning, the solo starts with that little phrase. 3 times, and then we do. So that is going to be a whole step bend at the 5th fret. That after doing that opening phrase 3 times, whole step bend at the 5th fret on the G string. And then picking the 5th fret again, but just without bent, it being bent, you pick it 2 more times. Then 4 and 2. Then come over to 4 on the D string. Then come back to the G string and hammer on 2 to 4. And then hit the low A again on the open A string. Then you start that phrase all over again. That's 3 times, and then the same fill. So that's the same ending. All right, now we keep going off. That kind of takes care of the beginning of the solo. And then we go into that was kind of the solo section, and this is where the really kind of like bluesy soloing starts. The one that's more improvised. So we have, so that's the first phrase. We're going to slide from 4 to 6 on the G string, another grace note from the 4. Then we're going to play the high E, 5th fret, over to the 5th fret on the B, back to the high E, 5th fret. Then you're going to do a whole step bend at the 7th fret on the high E string. And then pick 7-5. So look at this. Then we're going to go 5 from the B to 5 on the E twice. Now you can let those notes kind of ring together. Then you're going to slide from 7 on the B string up to 10 with your 3rd finger. So we're all together. All right, now we have a series of little bends here at the 10th fret and between the 8th and 10th fret on the high E string. We start with going 8, 10 on the high E. Then you can do a pre-bend, so you're going to bend that 10th fret up a half step, and then a whole step, and then pick it again, and release that bend and pull off to the 8th fret. So we have this. Then you pick the 10th fret again, then pick it again and bend it a whole step, and then back to 10, the regular 10 again. To 8, then a whole step bend on 10 again, release, back to 8, 10th fret on the B string now, and then a quick quarter step bend on the 8th fret on the high E. So it's one of those things where it's just got a mixture of just pretty much just 2 notes over and over again. So we have this all together. All right. So it's about listening to it and getting that phrasing down, and just knowing that it's a series of bends on the 10th fret, always kind of resolving down to that 8th fret. Then the next phrase is this. So we start now with the 10th fret on the B string, then come over to the 10th fret on the high E, do a quick whole step bend, then pick 10 without a bend on the high E, down to 8, and then a quick bend on the 10th fret again. All right? The next phrase is going to be this. So we have this. We're going to do a whole step bend at the 15th fret on the B string. While you have that note bent, you're going to have your pinky play the 15th fret on the high E string. Then you're going to pick the 15 that's already bent on the B, and then release it down to the flat 15. Pull off the 13th fret. Then do a quick whole step bend and 15 natural. So we have, so all together. Then we're going to play 13 on the B string to 14 on the G. And then a quick whole step bend at the 15th fret on the B. And then a quarter step bend on the 13th. So we have all together. One more time. All right. Now we have a series of slow bends, kind of unison bends up here in the 17th position. So we're going to bend at the 19th fret on the 3rd string, whole step bend, and then grab the 17th fret on the high E string while that note is being bent. Then we're going to bend the 19 a whole step again, and then this time play 17 and on the B string and the high E. So we just, then we're going to do a whole step bend at the 20th fret on the B string. Grab the 20th fret with your pinky on the high E while you're holding that bend. Then pick the B string again, that's already bent at the 20th fret, and release that bend. Then we're going to play 17 on the B, followed by a whole step bend at the 19th fret on the G. Then 17 on the high E, 20 on the B, then 17, 20 on the B with a bending the 20 up a whole step. So let me play this so far. All right, so now we have a bent 20th fret on the on the B string. Then we're going to pick that again, it's already bent, and we're going to release it. Then play 17. Then I'll bend on the 19th fret on the G, hold step bend again. And then while you're holding that, play 20th fret on the B. Then we're going to come back to this 20th fret on the B string, do a whole step bend, while grabbing the 20th fret once again on the high E, coming back down to the B string, picking it and releasing the bend, play 17 on the B, and we're going to end this section with it. That's a quick whole step bend on the 19th fret on the G string. Then release that bend and pick 19, then 17, then come over and play 19 on the D string, back to 19 on the G, and then a half step bend at the 17th fret on the G. All right? So that section is, once again, there's a lot of bends and kind of sustained notes. So it's a good thing to get the notes underneath your hands here and then listen back to the recording and just start trying to match the timing of it. It's kind of the easiest way of getting it together. Now this next lick happens 6 times in a row. It's kind of a standard blues lick. And we go, it's a 5-note lick, but it's in the feeling of 3 triplets. So it's going to be like a whole step bend on this 3rd fret on the G string with the 7th fret. Then play 5 on the B string. Now the timing of those 2 notes is going to be like 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. And then the next 3 notes are going to be played just 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be, now you're going to roll over to the 5 on the high E, and then pull off 8 to 5 on the B string. So that's going to be a 1, 2, 3. So we get this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right? You're going to do that pattern 6 times. Okay? And after the 6th time, you're going to do a quick pull off again from 8 to 5 on the B. Then pull off 7 to 5 twice on the G string. Come over to 7 on the D string. Then back to the 7 on the G. And 5, a half step bend. So with that bend, then you go. Just 7 to 5 to 7 on the D. We got a quick. Now, it's another bend on the G string of the 5th fret, half step bend to the 7 on the D, and then play 5, 7 on the G, bending that 7th fret up a whole step. Then we have a quick little section here. We're going to come over, it's kind of muted sounding. You're going to come and pick the 7th on the D string once, then 7 on the G string 3 times. Then you're going to pick it again with a quick half step bend. Then you're going to pick 7, 5. Now we're going to pick a cross string. We're going to go 7 on the D, 5 on the G, 8 on the B. Then a whole step bend at the 7th on the G. 7, 5 now, down to the 7 on the D string. Then a hammer from 5 to 7 on the G. So it's kind of a lot of the same notes. It's usually the hardest things to learn, where there's only like 2 or 3 notes he's using, but he keeps repeating them with little bends and stuff. So it's all about the phrasing. So once again, just get the notes underneath your fingers, and then by following along this video, and then really try to listen to the record and follow along with those notes. Now we get in kind of a repetitive figure. It's going to go We're going to go 5, 6, 7 on the D string. I'm going to alternate pick that down, up, down, and then play 5 on the G string. Do that twice. Then you're going to go the same figure, except you're going to play 7 on the G string instead of 5. And then do it again, going back to the 5th fret this time. Then again, back to the 7th. Again, back to the 5. So all together we have. Okay, so after that, we're going to do it again. 5, 6, 7. Then jump back to the 5th string and go 5, 3, 4. And then come to the 2nd fret on the low E string and do a half step bend and release. So we have. Then we have an open A string. And then we get back to the same figure that we did earlier in the song. That's how we started the solo. And we're going to do that 3 times again. Now we're going to have a little different fill at the end. It's going to be a quick great slide from 3 to 4. Remember, you don't really hear the 3. It's just a grace note on the 5th string. And then we're going to, on the D string, we're going to play 2, 0, then 3, 4 on the A string. And you're going to slide from 3 down to 2 on the low E. So we have. Then back to the open A string. Start the phrase again, but we're going to kind of change the ending of it a little bit. It just kind of leads into something else. When you get to that slide from the 4 to 6, instead of just jumping right here, we're going to go from 5 on the B to 5 on the high E. Then slide from 8 to 10 on the B string. So we got. Then we're going to pick 8 to 10 on the high E. Then a half step bend on the 10. Then 10 normal. Then half step bend again. Then normal. Half step bend again. Then normal. And then we're going to go 8 to 10. Whole step bend. Then a quarter step bend on the 8. And then 10 on the B. Then back to 8 on the high E with a quarter step bend and kill it. So it's not many notes. This is. Then we're going over to the B string. We're going to play the 10th fret. And then a step and a half bend on the 13th fret. And bend and release at the 13th fret on the B. Back to the 10. Then pick 10 again and play the 13th fret again. This time do a 2 whole step bend, 2 whole steps. So you need this note to sound like this note. Then release the bend and play 10. So we have half step, a step and a half bend, then a 2 whole step bend. Pretty big bends. Then pick 10 twice. Come up and grab 15 on the high E, then a whole step bend on the B string on the 15th fret. Then play 15, 13, and then 14 on the G, and then a quick hammer on from 13 to 15 on the B, back to 13, back to down to 14 on the G, then another quick hammer on from 13 to 15 on the B. It's really starting to fade out at this point, so a lot of this, a lot of editions of this recording, you can't hear this section too much. These last couple of measures, but it is there on the original recording. So 15, 13, 14 on G, quick hammer on, 13, 15, then 13, 14, and quick hammer on, 13, 15. Now we go to 13 on the B, and a quick 15 on the high E. All right, and then we have a whole step bend on the B string, pre-bend at the 15th fret, pick it and release, pull off to 13, then pick 15 again, and 13 again, with a slight bend on it, and then pick 15 once again really quickly on the high E. So we get this. Then a whole step bend and release again on the 15th fret, pull off to 13. He's kind of repeating the same stuff here. It's just based around these three notes. And then down to the 14 on the G string, then play 15, 13 again. Back down to the 14. Then play 13 on the B, whole step 15 on the high E. So we got this. This might not matter for a lot of people because they probably don't have the copy of this recording where you can actually hear these notes and they'll get the phrasing down. But it is going to completely end here with a 15, 12 on the high E, 15, 13 on the B, 14 on the G, and then hammer back on 13 to 15 on the B. Okay, so that kind of takes care of all the main solo, the outro, and everything for Black Dog. Okay, so I hope you guys had a lot of fun learning this song. It's a lot of fun teaching it, and I hope to see you guys at Guitar Lessons 365 really soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.